Hello and welcome to another video. As you can see already behind me, I think you know what I'm gonna talk about. The green thing inside my car. Not the green thing behind my car, but the green thing inside the car. I'm gonna talk about the roll cage we installed. Just a heads up, we are not yet finished. So we haven't torqued the bolts, so it's just everything is loose inside, but every bolt is where it should be. And that was basically the part I wanted to finish today because I had a friend over to help me with the installation. Thanks, Michi. He doesn't watch my videos, so he doesn't get that, but thanks anyway. It was a huge help. So, as you can see here, it runs pretty deep into the dashboard, and that was also the reason we had to cut the bar behind the dashboard, which, yeah, it isn't perfect. So, but Michael made it perfect again, so that's fine. But it is a lot of work, so if you just want a drop-in bolt-on, bolt-in cage, you might want to go with a Hygo, for example, because that leaves that in. And with the Hygo you can also use the stuff on the door boards. This one not, I have to make a bracket for the windows. But so that's a problem, you have to remove really everything to make it fit because it's so tight. And now let's have a look at the cage. So yeah, as you've seen, we just installed it. It's, as said, not yet finished. We have to torque all the bolts, and yeah, that's basically it. But I wanted to finish everything. I need 4 hands to do it, like also the installation of the dashboard. As you can see, it's back in the car. That was a lot of work to make it fit and to adapt everything to it. Also there, I'm not finished yet. It's, yeah, 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm here from 8, I think. So I'm tired and I'm going home now. So, but we'll finish that another day. But I got as far as I wanted today, where we installed the cage and also installed the dashboard back in. So that's what I wanted to achieve today, and that's what we did. The manufacturer of the roll cage is AST Rollcages in Spain. I have to talk about the cage in details when I'm gonna show it to you, but a few things in general. First of all, the cage fits like a glove. Honestly, it's so close at some parts where I wish they would have left a few millimeters more room so you could install it a little bit easier, but because they made it so tight, everything fits just absolutely perfect and absolutely to the limit. So that's very well done. And also the welds are awesome, really, they look gorgeous. Yeah, the whole quality of the cage is absolutely gorgeous. And also it has a lot of pipes, and so it's gonna be very safe. But it's also very heavy. It's roughly 60 kilogram. So yeah, safety is heavy. They could have done it lighter if they made it in, I don't know the English word, CRMO4. CRMO4. They could have made it, took lighter steel, but they took a little bit heavier steel, so it's a little bit cheaper. But nonetheless, it works absolutely perfect. And what I don't really like about the cage is, first of all, you don't get any documentations with this cage. Maybe they have for other cages, but you don't get one with this cage. So we had to figure out everything ourselves. So which part fits, which we had to remove. We had to remove some brackets which are tack welded to the car. Not ideal, but it is what it is. If we had installation manual, we could have done that before we installed the cage. So the first time we put in the cage, we put it in and then, oh yeah, it doesn't fit here, we have to remove this and then we have to remove that. So, but that's just some small parts. One thing I really don't like at the cage, honestly, is you have to adapt, or you have to cut out a piece of the dashboard or the bar behind the dashboard. That's a pretty huge modification you have to do to the original car. So I'm not quite sure, or for me, for a bolt-in, and it is a bolt-in cage, so it's not welded in, it's a bolt-in cage. I think that's too much. I think they could have done that better, but thanks to my friend, another Michi, I'm just surrounded by Michaels and they're all awesome. He just fixed that in like an hour. He just welded another angle to it. And it just, yeah, it just works now very nicely. And I think it's even sturdier than before because he used, I think, 4mm plate. And yeah, but that's also a safety thing. So I'm pretty happy with how he solved the problem. He welded also everything else in. So the lack of documentation cost us maybe 2 or 3 hours. And that was really a pain. Just, yeah, that could have been much, much better. But is what it is. And the rest of the cage fits very nicely. I had it powder coated. The rear one you see is green, like some details on the car will get green. And the front part is matte black. I did that, or the two-color thing. The front black for me is obvious, or of course I wanted it black because I have that in my visual, and I don't want anything while racing, I don't want anything to reflect light or maybe even glare, or yeah, just I don't really like some bright things which could draw my attention to it while I'm racing. So that's just matte black, so I barely see it when I'm in the car. And as you can see, you see this one right here, this pipe. But other than that, you barely even see it. The only thing you can see is the green in the back. And I can't see that while driving, so perfect, nice solution. And it's also pretty nicely powder coated. It looks absolutely spot on. So let's have a look at the cage. So that's what I was talking about. It's very deep inside the dashboard, so we had to cut a few things, but yeah, it's back together and it holds up. Here's it's a little bit damaged from installation because that part right here is so tight it just barely doesn't fit. And it's everywhere bolted together, also up here and down here. But as you can see, the welds, they are very, very nice. We're gonna paint that with matte black. So that's another reason I wanted it matte black, because this is the part where it's gonna get damaged or maybe won't look so nice very soon. So I can just correct that. And other than that, it's bolted everywhere. As you can see, it's always with 4 bolts, and so that's pretty sturdy as well. I wanted to have this bar in addition. That's not standard, because I like to have my belts looped just right behind the corner. And as you can see, also the welds here, they are absolutely spot on. It's a very nice cage, but very, very close to everything. As you can see up here, I don't know if you can see it up here, but it's very, very close. But it looks very nice, and it also did fit quite nicely. So it's bolted to some brackets back here. There's one, there's another one down here, which is down here, this one, which is welded in the car, and then the cage is just bolted to it. And the last one is down here. That's also welded in, and then the cage is just bolted to that bracket. So also dashboard is partly back in, not everything, but working on it. So this is how such a cage looks. The same from the back. This one here would be for the seat belts, or it's just another strut, which makes it a lot safer. So that's the cage installed. Nothing really special with it, and my wife is behind the camera and making some funny faces to me. That's why I love her so much. Yeah, she's not interested in cars at all, but she's just like, yeah, do your fucking thing and leave me alone. So yeah, that works for both of us. So, but back to topic. So that's just the cage installed. It took us, I would say, with the finishing we have to do, I have to clean the whole car. I just cleaned it 2 times already, but I have to clean it the last time when everything's installed. I would say with 2 people, a good 2.5 days. So it's a lot of work, and yeah, it is what it is. But it's just done once and then never again, hopefully. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a good week. Goodbye.